Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday Pilates. I hope you're all really well. To have another Pilates session. Today's is quite an active session. We're going to be doing lots on our back, lots on our sides as well, and ending up with some really lovely extension for our spine and practicing swan prep as well, which is really exciting. If you haven't ever come across the Pilates swan before, do go on YouTube or Google and just type in Pilates swan to see the full exercise, because you can see it's actually quite a challenging thing to do. But we're going to be working up in very small baby steps, so hopefully you'll really enjoy it and enjoy the feeling of length it gives you in your body. Okay, as always, please do look after your bodies throughout the class and do whatever you need to do. Take a rest, have a few breaks, whatever you want, and I'll be giving you some adaptations throughout the movements as well, so that if what I'm doing doesn't suit you, you can find an alternative that does suit you and your body. Okay, equipment-wise, we're going to need our mats. We're going to need our little cushion as well. If you have one that you're happy to sit on, just to give you a little bit more height through your spine, that'd be super useful to have. And having your band handy as well, which mine isn't. Having a band would be great as well. Now I'm just going to move this mat over slightly because it's a bit of an angle today. That's a bit better. Okay, so we're going to be starting in sitting, and we're going to go straight into our spine stretch forward prep. So you can see all my secrets now. This is a recipe stand that I'm using for my lesson plan. Okay, we are going to be starting with our spine stretch forward prep. So I'd like you to find a place on the mat with your feet together. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, you can extend your legs out to the front or cross your legs over. But just make sure that whatever position you choose, you can feel the weight going down evenly through both of your sitting bones. So those are those little knobbly bits on the base of your sacrum. And you should be able to feel those just grounding down into the mat. Now, if you want a little bit more height through your spine, get your little cushion and sit on it. And sometimes that can just help you go from a slightly slumped position to sitting nice and tall. So our feet are together. We've got a nice wide angle here, and our hands go on our calves. Toe muscles coming in to support us, and imagine that piece of thread coming right up through the crown of your head to support you. And your shoulders are relaxing down. We'll just take a few shoulder rolls here to get your movement in there first. Sorry, my hair, I've got all these little baby hairs and they're kind of getting in my way today. So let's take our shoulders all the way up, back and down. Don't forget that core connection, so you're not letting your toe muscles go. You're thinking about bringing them up and in to support your spine, even as you do these little shoulder rolls. Good, and let's go the other way, all the way up, forward and down. Nice and slowly. You might feel a few little clinks and clicks going on there. I know I can. Super, and bring your shoulders down. Okay, so from this really tall position, core muscles coming in, I like to imagine a big beach ball here, and we're going to mobilize our spine in flexion, which means we're going to lift up and out of our waist and try and lengthen our spine over this imaginary beach ball. So breathing in, and as you breathe out, we're going to nod our chin forward. Start rounding your shoulders forward, softening your breastbone, lifting up and over. Imagine that you're growing out of your waist, just letting your arms trail down your legs, holding here, and exhaling to restack, opening out the front of your pelvis and restacking your spine one bone at a time. It should be a really smooth, controlled movement. You're not collapsing forward. I'm going to show you from the side here. So we breathe in and out to roll forward. So tummy muscles softening in. Really lovely flexion through your spine. Don't worry about how far you can go. Just make sure that whatever movement you do, you're supporting yourself through your spine, and then open up the front of your hips once again, and then restack your spine bone on top of bone until your shoulders melt down and you're sitting nice and tall again. Let's go a few more times. Just a really lovely way to wake up our spines and get it ready for movement through the rest of the class. Rolling forward, really smooth here. Restacking, head coming up. Super. We're going to do 3 more times like this. Going in your own time. And hopefully every single time that you do this, you're feeling that you're getting a little bit more movement as your body warms up. Tummy muscles really coming in to support you as you roll forward. Restacking, and we've got one more to go here. Really enjoying this soft roll forward. And coming up slowly, one bone at a time, shoulders melting down. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to take this into our full spine stretch forward. So bring your legs together and lengthen them out in front of you. This is where I need a little bit more height, so I'm just going to give myself that cushion. And you can see that I'm just able to sit a little bit more tall. So feet hip distance apart, toes pointing up to the ceiling. So you've got something called dorsiflexion at the ankle, which basically means you're not pointing your toe. You've got that lovely flexion here as if you're standing up. So legs really heavy, knees pointing up to the ceiling rather than just slumping out to the side, toe muscles coming in, arms reaching forward, hands level with your shoulders, melting down your spine again, feet are thread through the crown of your head, breathing in. And as we breathe out, let's nod our chin forward, tummy muscles coming in once again. Use your legs. We're going to roll forward just like we did. And think about your hands traveling towards your toes. You might feel a little stretch through the back of your hamstrings here. And then open out the front of your hips and restack again. Let's go again. So make sure your arms stay at shoulder height. So we've actually got quite a lot of work going on through our shoulders and our arms here, just to keep our arms like this. We breathe in, we breathe out, nodding forward, arms traveling forward, tummy muscles coming in, supporting your spine, restacking again, one bone at a time. Lovely. I can really feel this today. So I'm going to go again a few more times here. Rolling forward again. Core muscles scooping up and in. Restacking. And a few more times. Rolling forward. Restacking here, nice and tall. And final couple. Trying to get that even flexion through your spine, and we're going to go one more like this. Rolling forward, really supporting yourself here. And sitting nice and tall. Let your arms come down. Oh, I can definitely feel that. And we're going to go into a lovely waist twist now. So we're getting all movements through our spine. We're going to get some gorgeous rotation now and hopefully really warm your bodies up. We're going to make it a little bit more challenging after this one to go into a spine twist as well, which is something we've not done for a while. So sitting nice and tall, again, toe muscles coming in. Fold your arms over so that your elbows level with your shoulders, shoulders melting down. Again, you're sitting nice and tall. Breathing in here. As we breathe out, we initiate with a turn of our head and turn our head to one side. Rotate around your spine, keeping your shoulders down and getting a lovely twist through your body before coming back to center. Let's go to the other side, rotating around. You might be able to go further one way than the other, and that's completely normal. And again, rotating around. Really important for keeping your spine as healthy as you can here. And coming back. Good. Let's go one more time to each side. And again to the left or the right, whichever you're doing. Okay, come back to center, release your arms, give them a bit of a rest. We're going to go the other way now. So I'd like to place the opposite arm on top because it's very common that people automatically prefer one way than the other. So let's take this into a waist twist once again, breathing in, breathing out. We roll around, keeping your shoulders down, remember. And to the other side. Good. Again, tummy muscles coming in. Try to keep your legs relaxed down, but still active. Now that sounds like a bit of a contradiction. What I mean is that you're not letting your legs come up as you twist. You're keeping them down, but your feet are pressing together, so you've still got that lovely support through your pelvic floor and your hips. Let's go a few more times. Breathing out and in. And again, rotating to the side. And back in. Good. One more time to each side, rotating around. And our final one. Super, coming back to center. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit more tricky because we're going to do the same, but we're going to have our arms out at shoulder height. I think I'm going to really struggle with this today. I've been trying to do press ups and I can definitely feel it in my shoulders and my back. So this time we alter the position of our legs. So I'd like you to extend your legs out in front of you, slightly wider apart than hip distance. And again, you have that dorsiflexion through your ankles. So your toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Knees pointing up to the ceiling as well. You're not rocking outwards and you're really strong through here. So your legs are super active. From here, we float our arms up, palms facing forward, and just melt your shoulders down your spine once again. We don't want them up around our ears. We're going to keep them relaxed here. Now, for this exercise, we're going to do the same as we've just done in our waist twist, but we're going to add on a pulse. And with our arms extended, it's a lot more support going on through our shoulders and our upper arms. So hopefully you should really feel this. But if you want to make it even more challenging, you can get your band and pull that apart, which is actually really useful because it helps you to maintain this distance. Or you can even hold your pair of hand weights here or your water bottles and add in that resistance. So let's breathe in. As you breathe out now, we twist to the side just like before. And once we've twisted as much as we can, we then add in a little pulse. So we're breathing out, pulse. Inhale to twist back to center and let's go to the other side. Breathing out, keep your arms long and wide, pulse here, just a couple of times. And on each pulse, you're just trying to see if you've got a little bit more rotation in your spine. And you might be pleasantly surprised to find that actually that little pulse on the exhale helps you twist that little bit further. So breathing out and in. Now, if you're like me, and you're doing this correctly, hopefully, you should really feel these muscles around your core really working hard because they're working to keep you upright and to help you with that rotation. So you should feel that you've got that lovely support here. Good. Don't be tempted to let your arms widen so it can feel like you're actually rotating more, but actually what you're doing is just taking your arm back. So let's go again, breathing out and coming back in. Breathing out and coming back in. Super. Let's go a few more times. Back to center and again, rotating and adding that little pulse. Couple more times to each side. And again, breathing out and in. Breathing out and in. Check your posture. Make sure you've not started slumping back. Think about that piece of thread pulling up through your breastbone. One more time to each side. Exhaling on that pulse back through. And again, exhaling here. Back through and bring your arms down. Just relax your legs. Hopefully you should feel that they've been doing a bit of work as well. And we're going to put that spine twist and our spine stretch forward together to come into saw. Now this is going to mobilize our spine in both flexion even and rotation. So you're going to need to use your core muscles to support you. Now the benefits of this is that you're really teaching your body control, you're practicing your alignment, you're coordinating your movement with your breath as well. And this is really important because if you think about inhaling as we do the movement and then trying to inhale as we roll forward, you should see that actually there's not that much space through your core to enable you to do that roll. Whereas if you exhale, you're creating space for your core muscles to come in like that internal corset and roll forward. So this time, our legs are just slightly wider than mat distance. Again, dorsiflex through the ankle. Arms coming up just like in that waist twist that we've done. We breathe in to prepare and we're going to breathe out to twist around to the side just like before. Once you've fully twisted, I'd like you to continue breathing out, bring your tummy muscles in, nod your chin and start rolling forward, drawing your little finger towards your little toe and turning that back arm so that your palm faces backwards. So you've got that gorgeous flexion through your spine. Pulse here twice. Inhale to restack your spine. And twist around back to center. Okay, so there's quite a lot going on. I'm going to talk you through it again. We inhale to prepare and we exhale to fully twist. Still exhaling, start nodding your chin forward, flexing through your spine, little finger towards your little toe, turning that back arm so your palm faces backwards and then soaring twice forward. Inhale to restack and return. So it's quite a fluid movement through your arms. So you've got this turn, you've got that rotation in your shoulder as you roll forward. Now, if that's a little bit too much to get into your mind just right now, just concentrate on that pulse forward. You're sending your little finger towards your little toe, rolling forward twice, inhale to restack, and come back to center. So really supple through your spine. Feel that your legs are working hard as well. Don't forget that core connection, which is helping you restack and twist. Breathing out and pulse. Inhale and back. Good. Breathing out. Rolling forward and pulsing. Inhale and back. Last one to each side. Rotating. Pulsing forward. Inhale and back. And our last one, rotating. Pulsing forward. Inhale, back through, and bring your arms down. Release your legs and give yourself a rest here. So you just bend your knees and give your legs a little bit of a rub. Hopefully you found that you got some really good movement in your spine there, and that little pulse should help you just reach a little bit further. So that's something that's really nice that you can practice in your own time. It's just how you twist and you pulse, you can often find that you get a little bit more movement. Okay, so we're going to come into a pelvic rock back now. We're going to practice getting an extension through our spine as well as the flexion backwards. So we're just adding a little bit on to our usual exercise. I'd like you to adjust yourself now so that you're sitting with your feet flat on the floor. Your knees and feet are hip distance apart. Again, you've got the weight going down evenly through your sitting bones and your hands are just resting below your knees. You're really supported through your spine here. We're going to go into that pelvic rock back. I'm just going to use my cushion once again. So from here, we keep our shoulders balanced over our hips as we lengthen our spine backwards. So it might feel a little bit weird, but we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, let's start tucking our tailbone underneath us, bringing our toe button in towards our spine and sending your spine backwards as you keep your shoulders balanced over your hips. Inhale to restack. And then we're going to exhale and send our breastbone up towards the ceiling. So we're getting extension through our spine. Don't drop your head back, but just think about a little tip and come back. So we're getting beautiful extension all the way from the thoracic to the cervical spine. Okay, actually lumbar, thoracic, cervical. So we're getting really lovely extension. Really important to keep us healthy. And because we're working the sitting position, it's going to be really, really strengthening and going to help with your posture. Let's go again. We're going to go with that pelvic rock back. So breathing in, breathing out to roll back, shoulders over your hips. And inhaling to restack, exhaling to continue. Breastbone up towards the ceiling, shoulders melting down, really strengthen and long through your middle. And come back. So really nice exercise. It's very similar to when we do catch. You can see that you're getting that same C curve through your spine. Keep your shoulders melting away from your ears, but let them round forward here. And lifting all the way up. And let's go 3 more times. Rolling back. Keep those toe muscles coming in towards your spine. And lovely extension here. You should really feel strong. Don't worry about how far you can go. Now, I have very little extension in my spine. I know some of you have lots more extension, so just work to your own bodies. Good. And 2 more like this. You're just using your hands to guide you. You're not pressing them. They're just keeping your shoulders nice and wide and feeling that your shoulders are connected to your spine by having your elbows, wide. Lovely. Okay, we're going to make this next one our last one. Still moving slowly and think about that tail tuck here, rolling backwards. All the way back up. And come back through to sitting. Okay, wonderful. Now we're going to practice something called open leg rocker, which is one we haven't done before, which hopefully you're going to really enjoy. And this is going to feel really nice for lengthening through your hamstrings and really switching on your core muscles as well. So it's very similar to rolling like a ball, but rolling like a rocker, you actually have your legs extended out like my hamstrings are tight, like this. And then you do the same roll. But again, we're going to work up to it little bit by little bit. So we're going to start with our leg points. So feet on the floor in front of you. I like to bring your toes together and keep your knees hip distance apart, and then wrap your hands and your arms around your knees. Sitting nice and tall through your spine, this is your start position. We're going to come into a C curve. So just like that pelvic rock back we've just done, I like you to roll back through your spine and then just lengthen up through the top of your spine. So you've got a C curve, but you're still open through the front of your spine. Then we're going to just start rolling back, walking your toes in until you're balanced here. You should be able to lift your toes off the floor and you're grasping your calves with your hands. From here, we breathe in. We're going to keep this shape through our spine. And as we exhale, we lengthen one leg up towards the ceiling and inhale back down. Okay, so we breathe out, lengthen one leg, inhale to come back down. Lengthen that leg and come back down. So it's a lot of work going on through your core. You're not hanging onto your legs to maintain this position. You're keeping this core shape, this spine shape through the strength of your middle. And then extending through that leg. So using your arm to help you fully extend. Okay, if you have tight hamstrings, as you just saw in my previous demonstration, it might take you a little while to warm up. But once you're warmed up, you should really enjoy this feeling. So you're lengthening that leg away. So this is called our open leg rocker prep leg points. Okay. Don't forget to breathe. Keep your core muscles still working. You should feel really active through your spine. This is our last one on each side. Breathing out. Good. And coming in. Now we're going to see if we can do both together now. Okay. So really make sure you're balanced on your pelvis. Breathing in. As we breathe out, we lengthen both legs up together. Inhale to come down. Now, before you do this, it's very helpful to make sure you haven't got anything behind you that you can fall into. So let's go again. Breathing in. Breathing out. Fully straighten those legs. Come back in. And again, breathing out. Whew, I'm getting quite warm now. And we're going to do two more. Breathing out. And in. And our final one. Opening those legs up and coming back in, rolling forward and giving yourself a rest here. Just rocking from side to side, again, giving yourself a little bit of movement through your spine. It's actually really, really strengthening around your core, this one. So you should be able to feel that you've been doing some work. Now for our next one, we're going to go into our open leg rocker prep roll and balance, which again, very similar to rolling like a ball. Now, if you have spinal disc issues, please sit this one out. You can practice that leg point again if you want to, but just be really careful about rocking back on your spine if you know that that doesn't suit your own body. All right, so this time, roll and balance. We have the same start position, so our arms are wrapped around our legs, hands grasping our calves. Go from sitting nice and tall to that C curve and then lift up through your breastbone, shoulders melting down. Again, make sure there's nothing behind you that you're not going to hit. We're going to maintain this position here. So press your arms out into your legs and your legs out into your arms. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, we roll back and come up to balance or not. Okay, that wasn't the best demonstration, so let's try again. We breathe in, we breathe out to roll, and into balance. Out, roll back, into balance. And you can see it should take a little bit of time to get there. Now, ideally, you won't use your momentum. You're going to be using the strength of your core. So I'm going to try a few more times. Hopefully, I can do it. I could do this yesterday when I practiced the lesson plan. So hopefully, today I can do it. Breathing out and in. Yes, good. So make sure you maintain that framework of your legs and your arms. Breathing out and in to roll. There we are. Good. So takes a little bit of practice, but really supporting yourself through your core. Again, Don't do this if you know you have spinal disc issues. So let's go 2 more times, breathing out and in, giving your spine a little bit of a massage here. Final one, try not to alter the relationship between your legs and your body, and relax here. Oh, well done. Okay. So again, just let your legs lengthen out, and we're going to turn from side to side to give your spine a bit of a twist, and just look from side to side as well. Just release any tension you're holding through your body and through your shoulders. I'm going to come into a new exercise called hip circles prep. So this one, we're going to start in our preparatory exercise number 1 before going into number 2. So again, we're sitting on the mat, nice and tall, feet and knees together this time. And we're going to take our hands behind us. So our elbows are slightly bent, your shoulders are away from your ears, but you're still feeling really strong here, okay? If you prefer, you can take your hands slightly wider and point your fingers out. It just takes a little bit of practice to see which suits you best. So this is our start position. For this first exercise, all we're going to do is a little bit of a twist. So keeping your knees and feet glued together. As you breathe out, let your legs go over to one side, and you should feel that twist through your spine. Come back to center. So this is very similar to the hip rolls that we do on the mat, just we've got a different start position. We breathe out and in. Good. Enjoying this feeling through your waist. Try to keep both sides of your waist nice and long. And again, using your core muscles to support you here. You're trying to keep your shoulders and upper body still, but you should get some twist through your waist as you move. So now from here, we're going to change this into our can-can prep, okay? So more exciting than it sounds. We're going to take our legs over to one side, and from here, we extend that top leg, bring it back in, and return. So again, we're getting some movement through our hamstrings. We breathe in and out to twist, extend that leg, bring back in, and return. Breathing out, extend, in, and return. Keep your shoulders melting down once again. Extend and return. Now, if you want to make this more challenging for you, I'm kind of walking forward with my bottom. It's weird. You can try and keep that leg extended as we go into that roll, okay? So we breathe out, extend that leg, keep that leg extended. As we twist back, bring that leg down and extend. Over to the side and twist. So you need a lot more strength through your core here, and it requires quite a lot of concentration. Last one here. And back down. Well done. Okay, so lengthen your legs out. Point your toes up towards the ceiling again, sitting nice and tall. If you need a bit of extra support, grab your band. You can wrap that band around your feet and hold one end of the band in each hand. Legs are lengthened out, sitting nice and tall. We're going to go into our roll-ups. So you can use the band here if you need it, breathing in. As we breathe out, tuck your tailbone underneath you. And one bone at a time, lengthening back down onto the floor. One bone at a time, nice and slowly. Replacing, head goes down, breathing in here. And as we breathe out, start with a nod of the chin. Imprint your spine again, one bone at a time. Lifting all the way up. And sitting nice and tall. Now, if you are able to do it without the band, great. We can extend our arms out in front of us. So we're breathing in here. And we're breathing out, rolling back. Rolling down, imprinting our spine, lowering ourselves down one vertebrae at a time. So really controlled here. Legs nice and heavy. We can float our arms directly over our shoulders now, taking them back towards the floor behind us. Inhale here. Exhale, nod your chin. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Imprint your spine and lift all the way up. I'm going to keep going. So we nod our chin into that spine stretch forward, hands traveling towards our feet, rolling all the way up, And go again. We tuck our tailbone underneath us, imprint our spine, one bone at a time. Keep your feet and your legs super heavy. Rolling down, let your arms travel up and over your shoulders, back towards the floor behind you. Inhale here. And breathe out, nod your chin. Imprint once again, one bone at a time. Lifting all the way up. Sitting nice and tall. Nodding your chin and rolling forward once again on the exhale. Inhale to restack, shoulders melt down your spine. And still exhaling here, tuck your tailbone. We've got one more after this one. Good. Arms travel up and over. Breathing in and breathing out, nodding our chin, imprinting. Imagine that your hands are being pulled forward by a piece of string. Sit nice and tall, roll your chin forward and flex your spine. Restack here, float your arms down by your sides, bend your knees. And you are halfway through the class already. Well done. I hope you've enjoyed the class so far. There are some unusual exercises that we've not done before in that. So I hope you enjoyed that open leg rocker prep with the leg point. Okay, so we're just going to take a minute here to have a drink, which I haven't brought in today. I'm very unprepared this morning. And you can have a few minutes breather and you can continue with the class with me to make it into an hour-long session, or you can do it as 2 half hours. So if you begin the next section fresh, just do a few exercises to warm up. You do some arm circles, some roll downs, some spine stretch forward prep, and some rotation, just to make sure that your body is ready to move before we go into our second part of the lesson. So I'd like you to get your cushion now and place it underneath where your head will be. And we're going to come down into relaxation position here. So you can either just lay down or you can challenge yourself to roll down. So feet and knees hip distance apart, arms extended out in front of you, breathing in. Breathe out, roll back, imprint your spine, lengthen down, one bone at a time. Feet remaining heavy on the floor and head coming down. Okay, so set yourself up in that relaxation position. So your feet and knees are hip distance apart here. Arms lengthen down by your side, gaze going towards the ceiling. And we're going to just do our few little pelvic tilts here to find our neutral spine and pelvis. So as we breathe out, we rock back on our tailbone, imprint our spine, toe muscles coming in. Imagine that internal corset just tightening around your waist. And then arching away. So we're exhaling to imprint, toe muscles coming in, and inhaling, arching away. Imprint and arch. See, making this really smooth and slow. And a few more times here. Imprinting and arching, good. And our last one, imprinting here and arching away before coming to settle somewhere halfway in between. We're going to go straight into a compass now to get some more movement through our spine. So I like to think about your hip bones being east and west, your pubic bone being south, and your tummy button being north. And you've got an imaginary marble, and you're going to roll that marble around all the different points of your compass. So we're going to breathe out to rock back and then start rolling around. Roll that marble away and around. You should feel that your legs move just in reaction to what your pelvis is doing. You're just rolling around that bony triangle on the back of your sacrum. So this is really nice little spinal massage going on here. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your jaw relaxed as well. Good. Nice and slowly. Rolling around. And let's go the other way. Toe muscles coming in and rolling around. Super. Good. Okay, we're going to come back through to center now, and we're going to go straight into a spine curl. So again, getting gorgeous mobilization of our spine, and this is going to strengthen the posterior line of our body. So feet and knees still hip distance apart, lots of space between your toes. In our neutral position, arms down by your sides, or if you prefer, you can float them up so your arms are directly over your shoulders. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we start rolling back, imprinting our spine. Switch your glute muscles on, and one bone at a time. Start to peel your spine off the floor, lifting up one bone at a time till your hips are nice and high. Holding here, and then again, melt back down. Trying to replace your spine, again, one bone at a time, being really careful around that lumbar curve. It's really easy just to flatten down. We're trying to get as much movement as possible. So let's go again. We breathe in, we breathe out, lift all the way up. If you want to make this harder, you can have hand weights in your arms, hands even, and lengthen back down again, coming down one bone at a time, replacing your spine on the mat. Good. We're going to go 2 more times, rolling back, squeezing your glutes here, lifting all the way up, nice and tall, hips high, rolling down. Super. And one more like this. Lifting up, pausing at the top of your inhale, and we're going to come down here. Float your arms down by your side. You're going to make this slightly more tricky now. We're going to add in a hip raise. So we breathe in, and we're going to go out again once more, rolling all the way up. Hips nice and high from here. Float one heel off the floor. Bring it back down. Try to keep your hips level and bring back down. I'm going to go both together now, all the way up. And you should feel your back of your legs and your glutes switch on, lengthen down, roll back down through your spine. Good. Okay, let's go again. We're going to breathe in and breathe out, rolling all the way up, lifting up one bone at a time. We're going to go one foot and down, other foot and down. Both feet together, lifting up. Keep your hips nice and high. See if you can raise them a little bit more here. Lower your heels down. And again, come down. Good. Really feeling how your legs and your glutes are working here. We're going to go one more time like this. So we breathe in. We breathe out to roll back. Lifting up. Send your knees away from you to try and get a little bit more height here. Lift one hip up. Heel up even and down. Other heel up and down. Both heels together, coming onto your tiptoes. And down. Lengthen back down again. One bone at a time, come back through to neutral and hook your knees in here. Giving yourself a little rock from side to side. Just trying to get rid of any tension here that you're holding. Super. Okay, so get rid of the cushion behind your head now. Place your feet on the floor. Hands behind your head. Hands clasped there and elbows pointing up towards the ceiling, making sure you can see them in your peripheral vision. You're going to find your neutral spine and pelvis once again here. We're going to do 6 normal curl-ups. So think about lengthening your spine. Use your core muscles. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to nod our chin forward. And then one bone at a time, lifting all the way up, keeping your head heavy in your hands. Really using these core muscles here, feeling the connection of your shoulders around the back of your spine. Holding here and lengthen back down again. Coming down one bone at a time. Let's go again. Breathing in, breathing out. And lengthen down. Super. Breathing out again. Keep your head heavy. Tuck your chin, lift up again. Super lovely. Few more times like this. Lengthen down and a final couple here. Super. Make sure your knees aren't falling in towards each other. Feel length through both sides of your waist. Keep your toe muscles coming in and down. And lengthen back down here. Super. I'm going to turn this into an oblique curl up now. So this is going to get our oblique muscles working. They're those waist forming muscles. And I'd like you to think about your rib going over to your opposite hip. So you're shortening through your waist. So again, we start with that curl up. So we're breathing in to prepare. And we breathe out to nod all the way up. Keep your shoulders melting down your spine here when you've curled up. Keep exhaling to rotate to the side, shorten that distance between your rib and your hip. Come back to center, lengthen back down. So it's a really controlled movement. You're adding rotation and deflection once again. Let's breathe in and breathe out, nodding forward, lifting up and rotate. Trickier than it seems to add in this rotation. So try to maintain the height of that curl up when you rotate. Back to center and come down. Lovely. Let's go again, rolling all the way up. And rotate here. So you're lifting that opposite shoulder off the floor. Good. 2 more to each side. Take it nice and smoothly. Rotate. Back in. And down. Lovely. Going again. Rotate. Back in. And down. Lovely. Last one to each side here. Back in. And down. Oh, I can really feel this around the sides of my waist now. Rotating here, back to center, and lengthen back down. And if you want to, just give yourself a nice stretch here. Arms going back, toes going away from you. Really lots of strength and stretch here before we go into our crisscross. So now we're going to work those oblique muscles even more. So from here again, hands go behind your head. Clasp your hands there. Make sure you can see your elbows. Feet on the floor. Neutral spine and pelvis. We're going to float our legs at one at a time into our double knee fold. Rotate your legs slightly so your knees are hip distance apart, but your heels are together. Come into your curl up. This is our start position. Breathing in here. As we breathe out, we lengthen one leg away. As we twist into that oblique curl up, coming towards the opposite knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale. We're going to take it slow. As slow as we can, because this is really going to get the control. Remember, you're breathing out and in and out and in. Lovely. So you're keeping your waist really active here. And again, breathing out and in. Hopefully you're feeling something going on around your middle now. The lower you take that leg, the more challenging it's going to be. Breathing out and in. And our last one. Breathing out and in. Place your head down. Oh, relax your middle. Bring your knees in once again. And give your legs a little bit of a circle around, getting rid of any tension you're holding through here. Okay, we're going to turn that into a scissor now. So you can stick with that crisscross, or you can just try and make it a little bit more challenging with long legs. So because our legs are long, it's a longer lever, meaning our hips, our pelvic floor, and our core muscles are going to have to work a little bit harder here. So let's set ourselves up once again. Hands behind our heads, drawing ourselves into double knee fold, just like before, feet together, knees hip distance apart. Come into your curl up. From here, we lengthen one leg up towards the ceiling. We take the other leg away, okay? So we twist that leg and we twist as we change our legs, okay? So pointing through your legs, breathing out and in, out and in. Really lengthen those legs away from you. Keep that curl up, keep that basket of your head in your hands. Pointing your toes is going to help keep your legs long. Last one here, you should feel the difference here between this and crisscross. Bring your knees in, relax your head down, and just rest here for a few breaths in and out. Good. Okay, so just circling your knees around, using your hands, getting that movement through your hips. Good. Couple more times. And then lengthen them away and roll onto your sides. We're going to come into some side lying exercises, which is really going to be strengthening for your hips and your spine. We're going to have a slightly different start position today. What we're going to do is lengthen ourselves along the floor. Bring your lower waist down to the floor and support your head in your hands. So your elbow is in line with your shoulders, your head is supported here. Top hand goes in front of you on the floor. And I'm going to lengthen both legs together at a 30-degree angle from the level of your spine, okay? So if you think about this being 0, that being 90 degrees, it's a 30-degree angle. So supporting yourself here, bring your toe muscles in so you make sure that your hips are stacked and your shoulders are stacked. That hand is really going to support you. We're going to bring that top leg up to hip height and then take it back so it's in line with our spine. This is our starting position. So you should already feel that your hip is working hard. We're going to breathe out and we're going to sweep that leg forward to about 45 degrees. And then as you inhale, flex your foot and leading with your heel, come back behind the line of your spine. Okay, so we breathe out to come forward. Try to keep your upper body completely still. This movement is just coming from your hips. Breathing out and in. Good. So as your foot goes back, try to take your heel back behind the line of your spine so you're getting an extension through the front of your hip here. Breathing out and in. You can see I'm not letting my spine swish around. It's just that hip that is moving here. And again, coming forward and back. 2 more times, really feeling strong here. You can try and bring that leg slightly further forward if you can. Just see how it feels. And back. And bring that leg down. Okay, going to give that leg a little bit of a rest before we go into our side kick up and down. Same position here. Make sure you're still supporting yourself with your tummy muscles. Hand in front of you. Leg in line with your spine. This time we're going to rotate that leg. So we're going to rotate so that your knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. We breathe out and we kick that leg up in the air as far as we can. Breathe out to return. Point to come up and come down. Okay, so really strengthening here. Keep that leg as long as you can. You should really feel the back of your leg, side of your leg, glutes working hard here. Coming down, good. And one last time on each side. On each side, each way. And rest that leg back down again. Wonderful. So this bottom leg should still be active. It's not just lying there doing nothing. You're helping support yourself and anchor yourself onto the floor. So our leg is still extended. Take it so it's in line with your spine once again, using the center of your hip as the center of your circle. And just imagine that you're drawing a circle with that toe. So you're trying to go as much behind the line of your body as you are in front. So circling around. Super. Toe muscles again coming in to support you here. Make sure you're not letting that top hip roll backwards. Good. And let's go the other way. So we're doing 6 in each direction. Good. Circling around. Don't be tempted to let that leg come forward. Keep it so it's in line with your spine. Good. Final one here. And lengthen that leg back down. Hopefully you feel that some work has been done through that leg and that hip. We're going to bring ourselves onto the opposite side now and do it exactly the same. So bring yourself around and set yourself up so your head is supported in that hand. You're lengthening along the mat. Your bottom leg is out at 30 degrees. And your hips, your shoulders, the stacked as well. That top hand is supporting you on the mat here. Good. So make sure you've got lots of energy going through that lower leg. We're going to take that top leg back, pointing the toe. As we breathe out, engage your core muscles, sweep that top leg forward, leading with your heel, take it back behind the line of your body. Okay, so coming forward and back. Really lengthening through your toe. Don't be tempted to let your leg drop down. And trying to keep your upper body as still as possible. So this movement is just coming from your hip here. Good. Going again, breathing out and in. Keep your shoulders relaxed. It's very tempting to draw your shoulder up around your ear. We're going to do our best to keep it relaxed. 2 more. Coming back, lovely. And our final one. pointing forward and coming back. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to rotate that top leg. So rotate so the toe and the knee are slightly pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to point our toe, breathing out, lift that leg up, sweep back down. Okay, so we're keeping it slightly in front of the line of our spine now at that 30-degree angle, which is going to help you get more movement through your hip. Keep your leg as extended as you can. Don't be tempted to bend your knee. That little rotation is going to help with that, the height you can lift to. So if you wanted to do it without that rotation, you should see you kind of get stuck. Whereas with that rotation, you can get a little bit more movement there. Good. One more time. Bring that heel down. Okay, so now we're going to lift that leg up once again. Take it back to hip height. Point your toe. Use your hip as the center of your circle. And keeping your upper body as still as you can. Start lengthening through your toe and circling around, going behind the line of your body as much as you can, as in front. Super. Circling around here. One more time. And let's go the opposite way. Circling around, keeping your leg really still, using the opposite leg as an anchor, making sure that top shoulder isn't rolling forward. Last circle here, and lengthen that leg down. Give it a little bit of a tap to get rid of any tension there. And we're going to roll onto our fronts now. Wonderful. Okay, so this is where you can rest a little bit. We're just going to bring ourselves down so that our fingers are together in a diamond shape, elbows out wide, legs lengthened out behind you, parallel. Okay, so your heels are pointing towards the ceiling. Draw your core muscles in so that your tummy and your spine are really active. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to go into prone beat. So what we do is as we breathe out, we lift both legs up and then we tap them together 3 times like scissors and lengthen down. We breathe out to float up and tap, 2, 3, come down. Breathing out, lift up, tap, 2, 3, come down. Going again. Super, let's go 2 more times like this. You'd really feel the back of your legs and your glutes switch on. When you do that tap, make sure the movement is coming from your hips, so you're getting adduction, so your inner thighs are coming together. Tap, 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 and down. Lovely. One last one like this. Bring your legs up, tap, 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 and lengthen down here. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to go into Cobra. Then we're going to do some double leg lifts. So I'd like you to alter the position of your legs. So turn your legs out so your knees are out to the sides and take your feet just about mat width apart. Forehead goes down onto the floor and hands wider than the mat, level with your forehead. Again, support your core with your tummy muscles. So we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we start taking our nose away, lifting up one bone at a time. Shoulders melting down, extending through your arms, shoulders down, holding here. And lengthen back down onto the floor. Again, one bone at a time, tucking your nose back under. We're going to go again. Breathing out, try not to get cramp here like I have. Lifting all the way. Think about length through your spine. Think about your breastbone drawing forward, shoulders melting down. And lengthening down once again. Going to do a few more of these. So as you lift up, think about using your glutes. That's going to help support your lower spine. Toe muscles still coming in. Enjoying this feeling here. If you want to stop it like Cobra Prep, you're very welcome to. Again, just do what's right for you. Lifting up and down. So this is going to be, again, really fantastic for your posture. You're strengthening the muscles along the back of your spine, opening out to the front of your shoulders again. Lifting all the way up and coming back down. Wonderful. Okay, so just rest your head on your hands here. And we're going to go into something called a double leg lift. So this is where the swan prep comes in. So your legs are lengthened out behind you. I'm going to try and lift them up from the hips. So keep your shoulders relaxed. Breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, just float both legs off the floor as much as you can. And lower down. So rather than it being a bend at the knee, you're lifting from the hips. Lengthening your toes away from you. Keep those legs really active.
and feel how both of your glutes switch on. So breathing out and in. Good. Going again. Breathing out and in. You're getting hip extension, really helping with the strength of the back of your body here, and lengthen down.
Okay, so now we're going to put both of those exercises together, which again is swan prep. Remember to Google swan, Pilates swan, and you'll see what I mean about it being quite an intense exercise. And we're going to go from cobra to double leg lifts as our preparation exercise for this. So your
nose goes down on the floor once again, hands slightly wider than the mat. We're going to breathe in.
As you breathe out, just do your cobra like normal, lifting up one bone at a time, extending your arms, taking the weight really long through your arms and hands, holding here. As you exhale, you come down and simultaneously start to let your legs
raise it from the floor as if you're kind of doing a seesaw. Inhale, exhale,
legs go down as you lift up into cobra. Remember to keep your shoulders melting down your spine. Inhale here, exhale, lengthen back down. As you lengthen back down, let your legs lift at the floor and come down. Okay, so we're doing this as a rocker motion. It's like you're rocking on the front of your pelvis. Breathing out to come down and your legs floating up again. Inhale, exhale, lengthen your legs down. Come all the way back. So there's lots of tension and strength going on through the back of your spine here.
Coming down once again. We're going to make this next one our final one.
Keeping really strong through all of these. If you need to have a rest, please do so. Lengthening down, legs coming up. Bring your legs down and then pushing your hands underneath your shoulders and very carefully coming up and back into your rest position to give your lumbar spine a bit of a stretch out. So bottom goes back over your heels and you're lengthening forward here. Breathing and breathing out here.
Super. Breathing in and out. Oh, that was quite intense.
Restacking your spine and coming back through into a 4-point kneeling position. Remember, if you need a bit of support underneath your wrists, and you can use a cushion. Just going to do a little bit of cat and extended cat just to open out our spine once again. So breathe in. As we breathe out, we take our tailbone between our legs and one bone at a time. Lift all the way up, pressing the mat away from you. Inhale to extend back, bottom going back, breastbone going forward. Really enjoy this feeling of movement through your spine before going again. Rolling all the way underneath. And extending back, opening out through the front of your chest. Keep both sides of your waist really nice and long. Good. Okay, we're going to do 2 more like this. Tucking your tailbone. Pressing the mat away, trying to get lots of space through your spine. Extending away. And one more time like this. Rolling all the way. Should feel really nice after all of those exercises that we've just done. Send your bottom back once again. Take your hands forward and give your wrists a bit of a roll around here. Good. Restacking your spine. We're going to come into a seated position. So sitting with your feet together in front of you, we're just going to get a bit of lateral flexion through our spine now. So find that comfortable position for you. Sit nice and tall and take your arms wide. Going to breathe in. As you breathe out, we float one arm all the way up. Breathing out, so reach up and over to the side. Think about that lateral flexion here. Inhale to restack and float that arm down. Good, let's go on the other side. Breathing out. Lifting up and over. Restacking and down. Super. Really enjoying how this feels. Thinking about that waist length. Shoulders melting down. Good. Super. Restacking here. And now we're going to go both arms together. So we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, we raise both arms up in the air, reaching through your fingers and press the air away. Super. 2 more like this. Really enjoy this feeling of length through your spine. Try to keep your core muscles coming in as you reach And we're going to go one more time. Breathing out, lifting up and back, pressing the air away. And give yourself a nice clap here. Well done. I hope you really enjoyed this class. There were some more challenging exercises in there and lots to work on as well. Let me know how you got on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, and take care. Bye-bye.